Thanks for joining us on Khari, free at last, exclusively on Bounce23 TV. Most people would say that the definition of marriage has been the union of male and female. On the November ballot in Ohio, Ohio voters would be asked if marriage should be restricted to gender. After thousands of years, is it time to ask the question, what is marriage? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Jallow, Donella Martin-Braddix, and Kameliah Terry. Did I get it right? Braddix. Did I do it right?
I'm proud of you.
All right. Well, Reverend Coates helped me with that. He don't know he helped me, but he did. Kameliah, what is marriage?
I believe that marriage is a civil right between two adults, sometimes even two juveniles. The law does say that you can marry under the age of 18. But I think there's definitely a difference between what we see legally as marriage and what we see as a community or as a church community and what marriage is.
What is marriage, Donella?
Marriage is a union between two people who have decided to live together, and the law, most importantly, the law recognizes these two people as an entity. So in the case of income, pensions, death, that other person is treated as a part of that person's family. You're legally family.
What is marriage, Jallow?
Marriage is a union between a male and a female. It is also...
Stop! Hold up, hold up, wait a minute. What did you say?
Marriage is between a male and a female.
Only?
Yes.
So you don't believe two males can marry a male and an animal and all that kind of stuff? You say marriage is between two humans, one male, one female. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's the way it has been since we've known it. I mean, since in my lifetime it has been that way. And I think that...
So what is this gay marriage then?
Well, I wouldn't consider that to be a marriage. It would be a union. Two people of the same sex coming together to join, like you said, finances, resources, whatever.
That's not what she said.
Well, that's not what she said, but that's what I said.
Oh, well, what do you say, Donella?
I think, Earth, you're looking at the biblical context. And that's fine, but, you know, there's the biblical marriage, and then there's the civil marriage, which the law dictates these two people are married.
And that's fine if they want to do it civilly, but like I said, for thousands of years, then it has been between a male and a female. Now we're upon a new paradigm, which is definitely going to shift.
In essence, Donella is all wet. Is that what you're telling me? She ain't making no sense. Is that what you're telling me?
Listen,
you telling me her argument makes no sense.
This
is that what you're saying?
This is a Christian country, correct? Correct? It's a so-called Christian country.
It hasn't been official.
There's more Muslims here than Christians.
Yes, it's a Christian culture based on
Wait a minute, what did you say there? Wait a minute, what you say there are more Muslims here than Christians?
Yeah.
What's your source? No way.
Everybody
you've been
knows
smoking
that there's more Muslims across the world than there are Christians.
I said in this country.
I believe in this country too.
Oh, no
way.
Anyway, what was you saying?
Let's keep in mind that cultures around the world have allocated special situations for people who identify as being male and female, including in Ghana, in Africa, not just hermaphrodites, but people who encompass that male-female energy.
We're talking about marriage. We're talking about marriage. We're not talking about energy. We're talking about marriage.
But the thing about it is they have allowed people to choose, okay, they live, you know, as man and man, and they're together, and they live as woman and woman together. In this culture today, we look at that as being foreign, but it has existed since the beginning of time.
Jallow, does that make sense to you?
Well,
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know about since the beginning of time, but I know the way we do it here under this type culture, and that's not how it's been.
The way some people
but our
do.
culture has changed. We haven't even been here thousands of years. First of all, let's talk about that.
Marriage has been between a male and a female since 1, 2, 3, 4 has been alive.
Okay, so
it has been between
there
a male and a female.
There have been a lot of things that have been going on in this country culturally that doesn't make it right.
Wait a minute, one at a time.
What is this going to do to the black family? This is what my concern is. You know, what is it going to do to us, being that we are already not being married? We are already over 70% of single households. What is this going to do for us? What position will this put our children in the black family?
No, it's not a good question. It's a question that needs to be answered. Since you hold on,
I don't see how gay marriage is going to affect the black community in the areas where she lives.
You tell me what effect it's going to have.
Well,
what effect? No dead air.
I believe there's a lot of gay black people who will be able to get married. I don't think it's going to have any negative effect. I'm answering the question.
What effect do you have?
It only has a negative effect if you feel like it's negative.
Oh, what do you think, Irv?
With our children, there's so much confusion already that's going on with our children that is another thing that we are about to put on them.
You don't think adults are confused?
Listen, that's the problem. We confused right
now.
But let's look at Holland.
Socialized confusion. What she's saying is that there's a process of socialized confusion.
I don't feel confused.
That's what I stay right there. Hold on.
You don't.
The mode of marriage is broken. How far will it go? Well, how about this? How about a man being legally allowed to marry 5 women? Up next on Khari, Free at Last. Welcome back to Khari, Free at Last. In the book, History of Human Marriage, marriage is defined as a durable connection between a male and a female, or between one or more men to one or more women. Well, since marriage has been legally redefined in America, why not allow a man to marry 5 women, or even a woman to marry 5 men? Once the marriage hold or mode is broken, how far will it be allowed to go? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Earth Jallow, Donella Martin-Braddix, and Kameliah Terry. Listen, why not Earth Jallow? How come I can't marry? If we're going to change marriage, if we're going to redefine it, and the courts are saying, wait a minute, because in November they're going to ask us to vote.
Absolutely.
Should it just be restricted to just one male, one female? No regard to gender. Okay, then how come if we're going to change it, then allow me to marry 5 women?
I'm with it. I'm with it. If you're going to redefine if you are going to redefine marriage, then you got to open it up across the board, just like you said. And you can no longer tell people, hold on. You can no longer tell people that polygamy ain't right.
That's right.
You can no longer tell me that polyandry ain't right.
That's wrong.
If you want to change the laws of marriage and what it is, then it got to be all in
How come you didn't feel that strong about it when it was gay marriage? You didn't feel that strong about it when it was... But the confusion, you mentioned our children are confused. You don't think marrying multiple women are going to confuse them anymore?
No.
I'm just trying to understand where you stand on this issue.
Let me tell you why. I'm about to tell you. Because I'm going back to your original culture, honey.
See, every time you go back to Africa, it makes it okay.
You're living outside of your culture. They still have the tribes over there right now today that do it.
Africa is a big continent.
Hold on, and let me tell you why it works. Let me tell you why it works.
Tell me, please.
It works because, number one, you always got somebody there to care for those children. So you got homework. You got somebody there to cook, somebody there to clean.
That's right.
You have...
So why doesn't my gay marriage work? Why doesn't my gay marriage work?
Hold on, because we talking about multiple marriages here. We're not talking about gay marriage.
I'm just trying to understand. It's okay for you to open up the definition of marriage when it works for you, but when it doesn't work for you, then all of a sudden it's a man and a woman.
Hold on,
man and a woman, not a man and 5 women.
I'm just trying to understand what it was for me. I didn't say that they couldn't. I don't care.
But you know what, Earth? You brought up a valid point when you talk about marriages for children. If we look at Holland, who has had same-sex marriages legal for the past 12 years, the rate of children living with 2 parents is 86%, which eclipses the rate in the Black community. So how can we sit up here and say that gay marriage threatens real marriage? We need to work on real marriage between men and women.
But you said Holland.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're saying gay marriage is not real marriage?
Okay,
that's just what you...
Traditional marriage.
No, you can't take that word back. She said it was not real marriage.
She is allowed to retract herself.
According to you, not according to me.
If marriage is about the children, then we need to start looking at the situations in which our children are being born to. We need to look at the Black women who are having multiple children by multiple men. Nobody wants to talk about that. And we certainly need to talk about what has become the cultural norm.
We want Black male children. Wait a minute. We want Black male children to grow up with homosexuals, with gay men as their role models? Is that what we want?
That's not what I want. That's not what I said.
Wait, I'm asking. Is that what we want?
That is what I am completely okay with.
You okay with it?
I am okay with that. Why are you so shocked?
You're okay with a young Black man looking at Black men...
I am.
Wait a minute. Black men dressing up in dresses in movies like Mud Deer, like Wesley Snipes, who I think is great, but he did that, and other people, and that's okay with you?
Well, you got to tear me down because I'm okay with it. Yes, and it's perfectly okay with me. Everybody does not feel
you don't
the
have
same
a
way
problem
you
with
feel.
that sexual confusion?
I do not have a problem with that because I think our children are confused because we have been conditioned conditioning everybody to believe whatever it is I say you should believe, or whatever it is we believed 1,000 years ago, or that book said you should believe that. That's why people are confused.
Jallow, what is the impact of this sexual confusion?
I have to go back because
that she's supporting. She supports sexual confusion.
I did not say I support
She supports sexual confusion.
You are putting words in my mouth. Nobody heard me say that I support sexual confusion.
If you are born,
hold on. If you are born as a male, if you're born with something that the equipment that makes you a male, and then you want to act and function and be a female, that is sexual confusion.
Yes,
is it not? I don't know.
No, it isn't.
Is it? It's not.
No,
if you ask most gay men will say, I do not want to be a woman. Transgender is a completely separate issue.
And
I think there's a lot of
ignorance
as far as what gay people really feel. And
Do
we
they
need
have
to
sex
educate
with men?
ourselves. The thing about it is
wait a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Do they have sex with men?
Of course they have
All right
sex
then.
with
What
men.
do women? Who do women have sex
Men.
with? Men.
Whoever they want.
All right.
If a man has sex with men, it does not mean he wants to be a woman. We need to educate ourselves. Not
Do you agree
only
with that, Earth
we
Jallow?
need to ask
And
ourselves,
gender
is gay
roles are
marriage
taught. Men
threaten
feeling like
traditional
putting on a
marriage?
dress is a taught
Do you agree?
behavior.
Do you agree with that, Earth Jallow?
See, I'm getting confused. This is how confusing this is. It's very easy. If I'm getting confused right here with this discussion, imagine what our children are doing. You talked about Holland. I have to go back there real quick. The people who are in Holland, do they look like us? Do they have our children? Because that's the question.
What
that is the
difference
question.
does it make?
It makes a difference because
The
black children are suffering right now. It makes a hell of a difference.
Black children are suffering because of
gay
black
marriage.
parents. They're not suffering because of gay marriage. Let's stop this. But you know
I
what?
didn't say
Underneath
that.
the skin, we all have the same
We're
blood
human.
and the same needs.
We don't have the same blood.
But would you have a problem? Hold on for a minute. Would you have a problem? Would you have a problem with me marrying 5 women?
Nope.
You would not?
I don't care who grown folks decide to marry.
Would you have a problem with it?
I don't get to define who you
legally
sleep
your
with.
choice, then fine.
Would you have a problem with it?
You know what? I have been in communities. I taught in the Brooklyn Muslim
Would
community
you answer
for a
the
long
question?
time.
Would you have a problem with it?
And I've seen the situation over and over again, and I did not have a problem with it.
Oh, thank God. She finally answered the question.
Land of the free. Do what you want.
Oh, and so, Earth, so they all agree with you.
Good, wonderful. So I don't want to hear no argument about polyandry and polygamy.
Then we can start implementing polygamy.
Absolutely.
Should that be the new marriage form in our community, Earth Jallow?
Oh, heck yeah.
Why?
Heck yeah.
Why?
Because like I said, somebody's going to be there to take care of those children, cook, clean, and provide for that household. It is an economic situation when you have
And
polyandry.
it keeps me from running around.
If marriage is illegal, if marriage is illegal,
Hold on for a minute. It keeps the man from having 20 women or 5 women outside the marriage,
don't
right?
know about.
So that's good. So everybody knows everybody.
And
So
your
it works.
children
you want to
are
go
together.
outside your house, you're going to go outside your house. I don't care how many women you
You know
And your
something, both of
children
y'all
are together.
I don't believe either one of you. You're not going to go. You are. Oh, you don't?
don't care if you don't
All right.
believe me.
So then so that man that you married, got 4 women on the side. That's not a problem for
It
you.
doesn't work for me.
No.
It's not.
what
I just told you.
Answer the question.
I am answering the question. That does not work for me.
What does that mean? It doesn't work
It means that
for
I'm
you.
not comfortable with that.
Oh, so then you
For
don't
me.
go along with polygamy. You said it didn't matter. Now you don't go along with it.
That is not what I said at all.
The average black person does not have the mental capacity or the maturity to have a sustaining polygamous situation.
Wow.
What's your data?
What's your
data for that?
You know what
What's your data? What's your study?
Let me tell you what a true polygamous situation looks like.
Hold on. Answer. What is your study?
That is my opinion.
What is your study data?
That is my opinion based on
What's your study?
We can't even stay married. Our divorce rate is
All you doing, all you
here.
doing is talking, but you're not giving me no answer.
Okay,
What's your source?
If you let me explain, this is my observation. There has been no studies based on polygamous situations in Black
Well, then
America.
how can you make that kind of statement?
Because it's not legal.
Okay,
So you can't say that then. You can't
Stay
say
right there.
black men
Hold on. 70% of African American women have no husbands. If gender is no longer a legal barrier, will they be pushed to marry another female? Up next on Khari, Free at Last. Welcome back to Khari, Free at Last. As we speak, 70% of African American women have no husbands. If marriage is redefined, will they be pushed to marry a female? Should women stop looking for a good man and start looking for a good woman? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Earth Jallow, Donella Martin-Braddix, and Kameliah Terry. Earth, look, 70% of women have no husband. Now, with this whole new push coming in, are they going to be pushed to look for a good Man? No, because they're now saying a good man is hard to find. So now, what are they going to be pushed for? A good woman?
You know, I really hope not.
Is that where we're coming to?
I really hope not.
Can a woman be a husband?
You know, not for me, she can't. I mean,
can a man be a wife?
Not for me, he can't.
I'm just asking.
I need a man in my life. That's flat out. And if I could do polyandry, the multiples or better, okay? But however, what?
I said, oh.
Okay.
Whoa.
However.
Wait a minute, one man don't work for you?
I know, I'm like, that's...
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Way too much cooking and cleaning.
Wait, TMI, too much, is that how I said too much? Anyway, go ahead.
But seriously, you know, I mean, shoots, it's true. It's true, guys. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
What's true?
That polyandry and polygamy works. Just
it works
agree.
for folks.
See?
I do agree.
That's not the question. The question
was the
push.
question
will African-American
women be looking toward other women?
African-American women, now that they've been told that they're no good man, they've been told all black men are in jail, which is a big lie.
Big lie.
They've been told a whole lot of stuff, and now we got this increasing division. Now they've been told ain't no good man out there. Good man is hard to find. All that.
Which is not true.
Which is not true. All right. Well, that's out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
Now, what are they being set up to do? Push for a good woman?
That's exactly what they're going to be pushed towards, and we have to realize.
Are we looking at the homosexualization of our relationships?
Yes, we are, and we have to understand that 2 women can't make a baby and 2 men can't make a baby. So what is this going to do to us?
All the more reason for me to get
what is this
one.
going to do to us in the future? What is this going to do to our birth numbers? We're already aborting over what? How many children?
13 million.
13 million
according
children.
To the Reverend Coates.
According to the Reverend Coates.
Anyway, go ahead.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But
the
however,
Federal Office of Disease Control.
Disease Control.
Center, yeah.
So,
May we interject?
Yeah, you can. So yes, they can't produce children. So what is going to happen to us?
Children.
Yes, but what is going to happen to our numbers?
There are plenty of women who want to have babies. That's going to cover everybody who don't want to have babies.
A lot of us can't.
Exactly.
I think we need to look at...
So will African-American women be pushed, Donella, toward other women as a compensation for not having a man?
I can't say it's a compensation. I think there are a lot of societal factors why we see that happening. A lot of it is the increased sexual abuse that black women go through and don't get proper treatment for.
Will they be pushed toward another woman?
No one is pushing anyone towards anything. Does society kind of make things more legitimate? Yes, but I don't agree with that.
That's either a yes or a no.
It's a no. I think it's a scare
that's what I'm looking
for people who do not want gay people to have equal rights.
Is that right, Earth? Is it a scare tactic?
I don't think it's a scare tactic.
Well, she said it was.
When I can turn on my television...
And she couldn't be right.
Listen.
She couldn't be wrong, you know.
Listen, so when I turn on my television, can't nobody tell me there's not a push, that there's not a gay agenda going on. When I got my president going over to Africa...
Oh, that's not a gay agenda. They just want equal rights. No. What's wrong with you?
You know what? Equal rights is different than pushing for a full civil rights and trying to piggyback off of the black people.
Why don't you just let them be married? Why?
But it's not marriage. It's a union. A union that is going to afford them the benefits. It's not a marriage. A marriage is between a man and a woman.
So are black women being set up and pushed in that direction? And black men pushed toward other men?
Yes, I do.
You believe that? So you think it's a conspiracy?
I think it's a conspiracy.
Do you believe it's a conspiracy?
And I think
why don't you believe it's a conspiracy?
Because I don't believe anybody can push you where you don't want to go.
Really, Camila?
I think we need to address the issues that have made the black family.
What do you mean threatening?
It sounds really like people who usually are afraid of something or because they feel threatened, and that language, we're being pushed into gay marriage because you're afraid of something, you're afraid of our birth rates, you're afraid of what's going to happen to our... I'm not afraid of that. So I don't feel pushed. If I have a problem finding a man, that's something I have to look at within. It's not going to make me all of a sudden become a lesbian.
Let me ask you something. Would you marry a woman?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not a lesbian.
But you don't have a problem with another woman marrying a woman.
No, I don't.
Would you marry a woman?
No, I'm not gay, but why would I have...
Wait a minute. Why, if you have no problem with people being that way, why aren't you that way?
Because innately, I don't feel attracted to a woman. That has nothing to do with the issue at hand. That has nothing to do with it. Innately, if that woman feels as though she is attracted to another woman, then that is her nature. My nature. I woke up and I didn't decide.
Does that sound like a contradiction to you, Earth?
Yeah, because the children are waking up and they are deciding to experiment, and it is a dangerous experiment that they are doing. No, we don't all experiment.
We all experiment with something.
But to experience with your sexuality after being sexually violated and not having counseling, it is a detriment to your
for
mentality.
Those people who have that issue, not everybody has been sexually abused.
That issue.
So the point is, where does the responsibility lie? It lies to the adults sitting here right now. Don't sit here and attack gay people for being gay.
No.
Let's attack the people who are having the kids. And let's get the churches involved in having some pro-marriage initiatives, you know, abstinence initiatives, and things that increase the security and safety for our children so they don't have to experiment.
All middle-class monogamy initiatives. That's what she's saying.
And
so in essence, she's opposed to polygamy. That's what it sounds like.
I'm
that's
not
all
opposed to polygamy at all.
That's exactly what she said.
You know what I'm
Isn't that what you said,
I'm for people living their lives.
Isn't that what you said,
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, well,
hear that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do want to correct you. I do want to
No.
correct you. We are not sitting here bashing gay people for being gay, and I don't want to say that. I'm not bashing same-sex lovers for being same-sex lovers because they're not gay. Gay means happy. Okay? Let's stop using these words that don't mean what they don't mean.
The point is this, our attention needs to go to the children that are here, and it needs to go to these young people who are making families and don't know what they're doing. That's where our attention needs to go to.
Let me tell you something.
I don't care if Sam and Joe are married. Their marriage doesn't affect my marriage.
Let me tell you something about confusion.
What I do with my children affects my children and the next generation. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so let me tell you about confusion real quick. I know plenty of young gay folks who say, well, I'm sorry, same-sex lovers who say that they're same-sex lovers, but they have biological children that they've had carried through their womb through men. That lets me know right then and there that you are sexually confused.
But we have already talked about this, and we've already talked about why that's so prevalent in our community.
Stay right there. Is the redefinition of marriage creating sexual confusion in the African-American community? Up next on Khari, Free at Last. Welcome back to Khari, Free at Last. According to Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Henry Kissinger in 1974, under the National Security Memorandum, called for strategies to control the black population rate, including the promotion of sexually alternative lifestyles. Are sexual alternative lifestyles part of an agenda to reduce the black birth rate in the African-American community? Joining me is TalkTainmentRadio.com host Irv Jallow, Donella Martin-Braddix, and Kameliah Terry. What do you think, Irv Jallow? Now, Dr. Umar Johnson is well-researched, is a giant scholar, and he has talked about, and I've heard about what Dr. Henry Kissinger and this so-called Memorandum 2000 or something like that, where one of the plans talked about sexually alternative lifestyles being pushed to confuse black people and to reduce the black birth rate. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely, but see, I'm a reader and a researcher, so I believe in the conspiracy theories that, you know, are passed down, so to speak. And so, being that Kissinger, I totally agree with Umar, because we have to be controlled according to
What
others.
evidence do you see that this is creating sexual confusion?
Oh my God, look at the children. We were just talking and I was saying, look at the children. Your children go to school and you have these predators. I call them predators because they mess with the young straight girls at the school, especially at the junior high level. So a lot of the children don't want to play, the young girls don't want to play basketball because you have the same sexers on the basketball team that want to recruit the girls who are straight. So therefore, yes, when you don't know who you are, it's easy to be confused and led into a different direction.
Does the black community have a lot of confusion right now about marriage?
Yes.
Is there a lot of confusion happening? You don't think it's a lot of confusion?
No,
you don't? Why not?
Because I don't think anybody's confused
if
about
you
what
ask
they think marriage is.
If you ask the average African American what is marriage, what would they say today? What would they say?
I can't speak for the average
No,
African
I'm asking you to give me, okay, Donella, what would they say?
Oh, can I finish, please?
Well, I'm trying to give you to, you said you can't speak for
as soon as we start speaking for everybody, you ask for statistics, and I don't have any. So what I would say is, based on my own experience, is that most people would tell you that marriage is a legal contract. Between a man and a woman, because that is the law.
All right, what would you say?
I would say the same thing, but I think in the black community, we have a marriage crisis. Black people are not getting married, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to stop being vulnerable to the societal influences, and we need to start making our own standards and making our own rules and getting control of our households and our children. And we need to be married, and we need to make marriage a priority. We're the preachers. We're the leaders.
Should we make marriage a priority?
Marriage should definitely be a priority.
Evidently, marriage may not be the system, maybe we're trying to fit ourselves into something that doesn't work. Maybe that's not our system. Wait a minute. This notion of monogamy, one man, one woman, maybe that's not our tradition. Maybe we don't know our tradition, so we're fitting ourselves under the church into a concept that obviously is having problems working. 70% of people are not married. So that might mean that the concept is not working, Irv Jallow.
The concept is not working for us.
What changes should we make?
The changes should be, we should be open to different things like such as polygamy and polyandry because it has
worked. But not gay marriage?
We're not talking about that. We ain't about that, okay?
You said
and I said the same
things when it comes to marriage, but you don't want to touch on that.
What I'm talking about is the black family and putting the black family back together and making sure that we have and birth healthy, happy, whole little people.
Did the government target, in your opinion, has the government targeted black families for destruction?
On every level.
Through same
on every level.
Well,
absolutely.
Is that what you think?
Absolutely.
Do you believe that?
Yes, through welfare, suddenly, you know, the black man becomes obsolete.
Is sexually alternative lifestyles part of that?
I don't think so. I don't think gay people are a threat.
I said sexually alternative lifestyles. What do you think? You don't think? Irv, do you believe that it is?
Well, Dr. Umar did the research
What do you believe?
Yes, I do believe it because I've seen other stuff that have been the COINTELPRO. Come on, they've been on our back since we got on this land.
But they don't
gay black people in Africa?
You know what?
That just happened when we got over here?
What?
You don't think there were gay black people
Give me
in
the
Africa?
numbers.
And as a matter of fact,
I'm asking her a question.
Thanks to TalkTainmentRadio.com host Irv Jallow, Donella Martin-Braddix, and Kameliah Terry. And thank you for watching Khari Free at Last on Bounce23 TV.